Previously on Under the Hood.
We got a 2021 Ford F-250 Tremor. We're turning this into an overland rig where he's going to be able to go wherever, do whatever, and carry whatever. So let's go over a little bit of the parts. We had the leaf packs, we had the shocks, then we have the air system. We went with a Daystar cradle because this is a lift and this guy is going to be off-roading.
So far, Tony had removed the front bumper yesterday and installed a factory Ford winch. It's a factory option that not a lot of Ford owners know about. We've also installed a couple Baja Design products as well. There is a tank and a compressor in the rear. Nice thing about this system on this truck is it actually allows you to retain the spare tire and is designed to specifically be there without actually intruding on any space under the carriage of the vehicle. All right, that about wraps up for everything that I've done on this particular vehicle. Give me a second, let's check out with Tony and see what he's doing here in the back. We're adding a few cool options in the truck bed as well.
Hey folks, Happy New Year, we're back. We are doing the install on this tent today on the F-250. It is a Bush Company AX27. We're putting it on a RLD Canopy, which we're also installing on the back of the truck with a bunch of lights, solar panels, Goal Zero, basically a part 2 of the original, the first build we did with the truck. So I'm gonna get to it and see how everything turns out. All right, so the first step of installing this tent, I got all the hardware and bags out of the tent. It comes with the shocks not installed, so we have to get these undone, get this thing opened up, propped open, figure out how these things go. A couple brackets for the ladder, little small things like that. Once that's installed, I'm gonna move it up here to the stands and figure out how I'm gonna mount it to the RLD rack on the canopy, which is gonna be the next step, which seems to be pretty straightforward. I've looked into it a little bit, done a little homework on it, so it shouldn't be too much of a job, but we'll see as time goes on how bad it gets. Oh yeah, shout out to Brunt Workwear for the new boot goofing today. Maybe they'll send me another pair for free. They like hard-working humans, you know what I mean? That's what they're about. Hard-working American men, hard-working men. All right, I'm gonna drift forward.
Yeah, towards the front. The front's this way. It's going to have to like basically go past that box and then slide down. It's like centimeters. Kevin, you want to take a look at what I'm seeing, and maybe Rob can hold on to your side, or Vinny?
Hang on.
Hold on.
Okay.
Realistically, I don't think we have an option other than taking that out.
Yeah. I think it'll be okay. Worst comes to worst, we have to move the box out.
I'm gonna take this out anyway to help you, and I have to take it out anyway to get to those brackets to mount it. So I'm gonna remove it anyway. So we can with it when I remove it. All right, I'm coming down.
Am I good?
Yeah, I think you're good, but you gotta come down a little bit further to get out.
All right. Good. Down we go, baby. Gotta do some little maneuvering around and Take the pallet over there. I like to make sure it's good and snug. All right, so now that we have the Bush Company awning fitted to the brackets on the truck, what we have to do is, their bag for dust purposes covers the whole entire awning like I explained earlier. So basically what we have to do is put the awning in the bag. Now, right now there's gonna be bolts where I had it mounted protruding through the bag. You can feel where the bolts are. So what is gonna have to be done now is, now that these are locked into place where they're gonna be installed on the vehicle, I have to take a razor blade and just cut a couple X's on here and push the bolt through the bag, and that way the bag won't move around, and then it's permanently where the bag goes. There's a trick I had to do that I learned from their website. Basically what I did was I put the bolts through and put a regular nut on there and got this centered on the truck where it needed to be, and then you lock down all these nuts, and then it'll lock down the location where these need to be. That way there's no movement. Once you punch your holes through here, the bag will actually hold these from moving, but you have to remove these before the final install on the vehicle. But it's a big plus to have these, that way, you know what I mean? They're not, because these things slide around, they'll be all over the place. It's very, very hard to get them lined up, but this worked out perfect. So I'm gonna cut the holes and then get this thing ready to go back on and for the final install. All right, guys, after months of waiting for parts and waiting for products to get to the store, we finally got the second section of the build done, built on this truck. We did the canopy, the rooftop tent, the awning. We did a Fahrt drawer system, a goal zero, lighting, solar, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna briefly go over everything with you and show you how everything works and operates. Let's get started. All right, so we're gonna start with the back of the vehicle. We did a rigged tire carrier on here. The customer wanted that. We did the trasheroo bag. This is an awesome tire carrier, super heavy duty. We added a shovel, a table. There's a lot of stuff you can add to this. So this is an RLD Canopy system that we put on the top. I'll get into the details about that later. This is a company out of South Africa. Very heavy duty, durable stuff. I mean, it's all made of metal, steel. It's one of the strongest canopies on the market, if not the strongest canopy on the market. We went ahead and installed that. In the back, we have a Fahrt drawer system. Yes, you heard that right. It's called Fahrt. It's a company out of Canada. The gentleman builds these at his house, custom built. It's one of the sturdiest, best drawer systems I've laid my eyes on in the industry. It has a 2-drawer system, basically 1 drawer for storage. Has a cookware system in here. You open this up. Keep all your cooking needs. You can put a grill up there or whatever you want to do. And then it has a secondary system, which is probably more better for your grill, and then you can do all your, put all your fixings and stuff up there. All right, guys, besides the drawer system, we also added a Goal Zero. The drawer system was designed to hold that there. It's the 1500X. We also have a Cascadia 4x4 solar panel on the roof that charges that. It's also wired to the vehicle, so when you're driving, the Goal Zero will charge as well. All right, so the switch panel we installed, we set up the buttons for number 1 to turn on the lighting inside the RLD canopy. Number 2 will turn on his refrigerator, which is in the back seat of the vehicle. Number 3 turns on the work scene lights from Baja Design that we installed. There's 1 on each side and 1 on the rear for lighting. All right, and number 4 on the Garmin switch panel controls the power that goes to the Bush Company tent. The tent has 2 boxes inside of it with USB and like cigarette lighter plugs for whoever's in there sleeping. They can plug in their accessories. All this is powered off of the Goal Zero. The only power we have coming from the vehicle itself, the truck itself, is to charge this Goal Zero. So his interior lights, his Baja Design outside lights, and the lights in there and the fridge run off the Goal Zero. All right, so the customer decided to go with RLD for the canopy to mount all the products on. He did the canopy and their roof rack. This stuff is like heavy duty. It's a company out of South Africa. It's all welded together. It's all solid. It's the most heavy duty canopy I've seen, cap canopy I've seen since we've been in business. It comes with 4 doors on each side, which open up. On the passenger side, we decided to do 2 boxes on the back for him for storage. So this gives him access to the whole inside. Those 2 boxes, you just add storage to it. You can't really get into the canopy, but you can put all kinds of storage keep it from rolling around in the back of the bed and all that good stuff. All right, so the customer went with a Bush Company AX27 tent. This thing holds a ton of accessories. It's a durable, solid, heavy-duty tent. Basically, we added max tracks to the roof, we added a solar panel to the front, and we added a shovel to the side. If you guys want any details on installing this on this actual roof rack itself, I had to customize all 6 of the brackets to get it to work. So if you want to learn need any more information, want to learn more information on that, contact us at the store, email us, shoot us a text, whatever, and I can explain it in further detail so you can understand how to actually get it on the roof rack. Let's get this thing opened up. All right, so we got the tent opened up. This thing has a giant awning off the back of it, which is pretty awesome. If you notice over here on the side of the awning, this pole has 2 bends in it. This one does not. They sell a pole to accommodate the Bush Company awning that I'm gonna go over shortly, but I just basically put this thing in a vise and I heated it up and put 2 bends in it, and that way when the awning comes open, it doesn't interfere with the pole. Everything opens up and operates perfectly. All right, so let's go over this awning from the Bush Company as well. It paired up perfectly with the tent. It's the Bush Company 270 XT Max awning. This thing is awesome. It's poleless. It's the sturdiest poleless awning on the market. So there's no, setting poles and all. Once it's open, it's ready to rock and roll. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to open and get set up. It's super, super, super simple. All right, so there you have it. The awning is open and ready to use. Bush Company has these little cleats or hooks that mount actually on their tent for the straps for this awning. So you just basically open the front, strap it on the back of the tent, open the back, this part of it, strap it on the back of the tent. It's super simple, super sturdy. It's an awesome awning. I mean, it's not going anywhere. All right, guys, so now everything's opened up. You can see how enormous this thing is. It's absolutely awesome. If you're wondering about all the weight on the back of this vehicle, we did a Carli backcountry suspension on this truck with an airlift added air suspension to accommodate all this weight. It drives absolutely beautiful with all the weight on back. I drove the truck over here. It's awesome. If you need any more detail or want any more detail on the actual front and rear suspension that we did, if you go check out the first video we built in this truck, if you missed it, it goes over in detail about the suspension we did, and you can hear Ryan explain everything in detail so you guys can get a good idea what it is on the truck if you want to do it to your own vehicle or have any more questions. So some of you may notice that this vehicle, unlike most of all of our builds, have an aftermarket wheel on it. This customer just wanted to stick with the factory Ford wheels. We actually bought a 5th wheel for the back, and we added Nitto Recon grapplers to it. You don't always necessarily have to have an aftermarket wheel when you're building a truck like this. He likes to stick to factory to keep it simple. Plus, if you smack a couple rocks or run into a few things, it's not as pricey. Well, it could be as pricey to replace these wheels. All right, guys, so in the last build video, we touched on this more in detail, but we did install the Baja Design light bar on the front of this, the factory replacement fog lights, a factory Ford worn winch, and last but not least, we added a Midland radio in here. So if you get lost or just to communicate with your friends, this is the antenna for it. It's flush mounted in his center console with the receiver on the dash. They're good for communication. They're good if you're with a group. They're good if you're with, you know, a bunch of people and one of you gets lost. You can always stay on the same channel and communicate back and forth. It's awesome to have when you're in the middle of nowhere with no cell service. All right, guys, so that's the end of this build video. If you liked it, if you found it interesting, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you have any questions, any concerns, anything you want to know information-wise, if you're doing a build yourself or you just want some pointers, please don't hesitate to contact us. You can DM us, you can email us, give us a call at the shop. Any way you can contact us through any of our social media feeds. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.